Former Air Chief former Air Chief Marshal S. Krishnaswamy, thank you very much. General Shankar Prasad, Colonel Anil Kaul on one side, and the politicians on the program tonight. Siddharth Nath Singh of the BJP, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, Kamal Mitra Chenoy of the Aam Aadmi Party. How genuine is this in your view? Air Marshal Krishnaswamy, how genuine is this scramble for ex-servicemen? And what explains the scramble for ex-servicemen on the eve of the general elections?
I think it's a new and very strange phenomena. Basically, the services were totally out of politics the day I joined, that was in 1960 or so. And suddenly we keep hearing about, people in uniform wearing, retired people wearing half military uniforms and standing on podiums and talking for political parties. And I heard for the first time, not now, 15 years ago, when we were talking about one rank and one pay, this for the pension. This is following up of a pay commission. This was 15 years ago. And this should have been a government decision. I don't know why this had to be brought onto political stand.
Because they want to take advantage.
With the government.
No, they want to take advantage.
No,
the BJP, for example, frankly, the BJP Air Chief. Let's get them in. Siddharth Nath Singh. Siddharth Nath Singh will admit today that the BJP is crying like a spoilt child because it thinks the government has walked away with the one rank, one pension demand. You do nothing. And Siddharth, 1 minute. Siddharth, let's get the BJP, let's put them on the mat tonight, Air Chief. Tomorrow they want to take General V.K. Singh and make him their mascot. And we are told that a lot of army officers will go to India Gate, then they'll go to Rajghat, then they'll do their parade, then they'll join the BJP. Nice, photo opportunity, isn't it, Siddharth? Right? But do you think it will undo the fact that in 1999, George Fernandez proclaimed at the Anandpur Sahib that one rank, one pension will become a reality in a few days. And you did nothing. So before you make this big drama that we speak and Narendra Modi says, I speak for the armed forces, why doesn't Narendra Modi say, why doesn't Siddharth Nath Singh say, we failed the armed forces? And despite failing the armed forces, we think that because we got V.K. Singh and we are quenching his political ambitions. Right? You got one general into your fishnet. Do you think that 1 minute, because one general is in your fishnet, do you think it proves that you are genuine towards ex-servicemen, Siddharth? Or servicemen for that matter?
May I answer now?
Yeah.
May I answer now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Arnab, there are two questions you have raised. I'm answering. There are two questions you have raised. The first question relates to one rank, one pension. I do agree that we could not pass during our tenure. But let me put this also. There was a lot of hard work which went in streamlining the pensions of the ex-servicemen during the Vajpayee's tenure. And it took a lot of time because it's not something very easy that you announce and it happens tomorrow.
Yeah, but
the key issue, please, I'm admitting that we could not pass it. I'm admitting. I'm admitting. That's what you want.
But Siddharth, what I'm saying to you tonight is that you have been indifferent.
Allow me to speak.
You have been indifferent for years. I don't want to embarrass you by telling you what the army chief said during the Kargil operation about the state of affairs in 1999.
Let me put.
Siddharth, accept.
Despite what you would like to say on Kargil, we were successful in Kargil.
Yeah, not because of the BJP or because of the political parties,
Pakistan,
but despite
also internationally, people applauded them.
Yeah, but you
need a leadership.
You politicians didn't go and fight the war.
Army is also a part of the civilian government. No, it's not.
Colonel Anil Kaul,
it's always the army.
You're getting a first challenge. Colonel Anil Kaul is challenging you tonight. Colonel Kaul.
And the credit goes to them.
Colonel Kaul.
I'm sorry. You allow me to complete, then anybody can challenge.
No, Colonel Kaul
Let me complete.
Colonel Kaul is rebutting you. Colonel Kaul, go ahead.
Allow me to... Arnab.
Colonel Kaul, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I will not allow this to happen. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Goswami. You have to hear me out. I'm sorry. You allow me to complete it. I'm admitting that we could not complete, but there was a lot of homework needed to be done. Law Ministry.
Oh, okay, fine.
And we brought that paper of getting it past one rank, one pension.
Fine.
Now, that is the 10 years from then. Nothing has happened. But yes, on the eve of the election, something happened despite the government introducing in 2010 and 2013.
Why are you getting? Why are you so terribly on the defensive? All I'm saying tonight is don't think the people of this country.
It is your approach.
It is
your approach of asking the question, not allowing, so we have to raise our voice.
Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh, you realize tonight that there is a certain.
Let somebody also speak.
Yeah, one sec. By the way, Siddharth, this is an open debate. Let everyone interrupt each other. I have no problem with that. Go ahead, Colonel Kaul. Colonel Kaul.
When you ask questions, we don't interrupt also, na?
Colonel Kaul.
Arnab, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh, for allowing me to speak. First of all, if you notice, I decided to dress up in their rig, as we call it, to see how thick-skinned one can get. Now, having said that, this topic of yours is very interesting, and I don't quite agree with the Air Chief, the former Air Chief, because I think now the political parties have realized.
What?
Because elections is a matter of counting numbers. They have realized the numbers we carry, and they, since the indifference for the last 65 years, we have decided enough is enough. It is high time it is not they, it is we have decided to get into governance. The problem area is that most of them do have no idea of matters military. Most of them have never even served in the NCC, let alone wear a uniform. And they then depend upon the bureaucrats who are one step ahead of them. As a result, you find failure after failure, failure after failure, and today we stand at the crossroads where the Navy is short of submarines, the Air Force is short of aircraft, and I'm sorry, my own arm, the Armored Corps, is short of a major component called a night vision device.
And they want to cover it up.
What have these people done about it?
And they want to cover
They're
it
covering
up.
it up.
They meaning
They're
the
covering
politicians.
it up all the time.
The politicians want to cover it up by getting mascots.
The politician is to blame because
the politicians want the mascots.
Direction. He lacks direction. We will provide the direction.
Colonel Kaul, let's come to the point. Let's get everyone on the screen, please. I'm saying tonight the politicians want to cover this up by getting a mascot. So, for example, Kamal Mitra Chenoy is from the Aam Aadmi Party. Kamal Mitra Chenoy's party will not tell the people of this country what they feel about, Prashant Bhushan's position on Kashmir.
Yet they have taken
Prashant Bhushan. No, 1 minute. You get 1 second. 1 second. Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
It was only about a reference. Yes.
So Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
He talked about.
Yes.
Yes.
So Kamal Mitra Chenoy, Raj Qadian is joining the Aam Aadmi Party, right? And he's your candidate, I'm also told. Am I correct?
But why don't you ask me about my army record here?
No, but Kamal Mitra Chenoy, I'm asking a more fundamental position. My more fundamental position is this.
I'm telling you a fundamental position, Arnab.
Yeah.
I was in the National Defence Academy in the 39th course. And I was pulled out by my parents because I was an Air Force cadet. Otherwise, I would have retired 5, 6 or 7
what
years
is the
ago.
relevance? What is the relevance of that to my question?
But the main question, the relevance is that people are not going for ex-servicemen only because of patriotism. They are going for ex-servicemen because they have much better records than civilian politicians. So you should feed that into your question.
Yeah. So my question is simply this, that Prashant Bhushan is allowed to talk about a referendum on the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which is the basic requirement for the army to have effective functioning in Jammu and Kashmir. Don't you think that before your party or any party starts looking around for mascots so that you can pretend that you are pop patriots, that it is more important that you clarify your position on issues such as these, which actually impact the forces,
But Arnab,
right?
you are
Which
wrong.
impact the forces and also our
Arnab,
internal
the
security.
Chief Minister, no Arnab, you are wrong. The Chief Minister, Omar Abdullah of Kashmir, has repeatedly asked for that act to be withdrawn.
It doesn't
It is
matter.
a demand by the civilian
It doesn't matter.
government.
Does it matter?
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Is that the issue?
How can you claim to speak for
who is Omar
Kashmiris
Abdullah
when
to
the
decide
Chief
what is
Minister does not agree
strategically
with you?
important for Jammu and Kashmir or not? Anil Kaul is rebutting you. Let's open this debate up. Anil Kaul.
When has
a state government, since when has a state government putting caveats on national security? Will you like to explain
This is not
how
putting
the
caveats
state
on
government
national
can put in a
security.
caveat
National
on national
security.
security?
Sir, national
The
security
national
is not
security
only
is a
served
much
by the
larger
Armed
issue,
Forces
and you
Act.
having been in the
army
NDA
has-
in
the
a
army
39th
has
course,
served
which is
very
one course
well.
ahead of me,
The army
I don't
has
really
served
remember
very
you.
well
But
in
if
other
you
areas
have
without
not
that
even
act.
learnt the simple basics, I don't know what you are trying to prophesize today.
I'd like to ask Kamal Mitra Chenoy, with respect, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, do you believe that the position of the Hurriyat is anti-national and secessionist?
Well, I certainly don't support anything which is secessionist.
But do you
if the
believe
Hurriyat
that,
asks
do
for
you
Article
believe that the
370,
Hurriyat,
it can be a constitutional
that the
debate
Hurriyat position
because
of the Hurriyat,
Article 370 has not been removed.
no, do you believe that the position of the Hurriyat is anti-national and secessionist? And do you believe that keeping anti-national and secessionist
Certainly,
people
Sayyid Ali
like
Shah
Yasin
Gilani
Malik,
position
like
is
Yasin Malik
anti-
under house arrest is important for the security of this country? Do you believe that?
Of course not. Of course not. But Yasin Malik, as long as he does not break the law, has a right to say what he feels
And
is correct.
so Yasin Malik can speak against the Indian state.
Have you been to J&K, Mr. Chenoy?
Yeah.
Have you been to J&K? Have
I've
you
done
been to the border?
Many
Have
times.
you seen the situation
Many
over
times.
there?
Yes.
Many times. Then you should
Yes.
be talking like this.
And do you
I belong to
But
that
I'm not
state.
saying that I'm supporting Yasin Malik.
You
I'm
don't
not
even know
saying
what
that
is
I'm
going on
supporting
there.
Yasin Malik.
You're
That's what
talking about
Arnab is
Yasin
saying.
Malik. He was the perpetrator of all the ills that started in 1989. Today he is held in holier than thou, and you are supporting him. Come on, get your facts right,
I'm not
Mr.
supporting him,
Chenoy.
but I'm supporting his right to speak under the Constitution, the same right that you have.
Right to speak on
And-
what issues?
And
Sexism.
have you checked, gentlemen, 1 minute.
Any
Have you
constitutional
checked,
issue is
Mr.
open.
Kamal Mitra Chenoy, whether the people who are joining your party, have you checked if the position of Prashant Bhushan on the very important issue of Jammu and Kashmir is similar, different, coterminous or
Prashant
not with that of
Bhushan's-
General Panag and General Raj Kandian?
Listen,
you tell me. You see,
Prashant Bhushan's position at that time was, and this time is not our party's position.
oh, great. Oh, great.
Arvind
Shankar
Kejriwal
Prasad.
made it clear.
Shankar
that
Prasad.
Prashant's position is
Shankar
not
Prasad, go
our
opening.
position.
So positions can keep changing. Different people can have different positions on issues such as Jammu and Kashmir.
Why?
Shankar Prasad.
Why? Why
Our
do you
political
think-
parties
why do you
cashing
think
in on
the
ex-servicemen.
ex-servicemen
What's your
wanted?
take now? Shankar
Because
Prasad.
civilians change their positions all the
Well, I
time.
don't think. I think you need to have a slightly more uniform position on national security issues before you start using generals as your mascots. General Shankar Prasad, what do you make of this trend?
We don't
the
use
story is
generals.
very simple
we
today.
learn from them and we give them respect.
Sir, 1 minute. Yes.
Arnab, the story is very clear today and everybody can see it. It's very interesting times of opportunism. It is great that the government in power today announced one rank, one pension through Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And soon thereafter the finance minister made an announcement in the parliament which was responded by ex-servicemen as saying we are not sure of what's going on. And thereafter the RM took another meeting and clarified that one rank, one pension is being applied. Now this is one great activity that the political parties have taken to woo the servicemen. The second, if you remember, soon after this one rank, one pension issue, a newspaper report came that the government is also considering implementation of Naresh Chandra report in which the Chairman Chief of Staff Committee issue was to be decided. But since it involved all political parties, it was been shelved. Now there are 2 or 3 important issues that I want to place before you today. In the past, for the last 20 years or so, every service chief has written to the Prime Minister a letter by name indicating the deficiencies and lack of modernization. The concerned Prime Ministers have not even cared to reply to the service chiefs. There have been time and again requests from the defense services to have a member on the pay commission. Every political party says, yes, it's a legitimate demand, but not has happened. I won't be surprised if before the general election, the political party in power announces that the services will have a representative on the pay commission. These are innumerable issues.
Sir, but that doesn't cover up for the hypocrisy of it.
Arnab,
that doesn't cover up for the hypocrisy of it. It's utterly and completely hypocritical that political parties break up before a general election. And by the way, I don't know General Shankar Prasad.
My last point is, we really want to cash on it at the moment.
Shankar Prasad, my question to you is very simple.
Political parties must try and get every serviceman a right to vote.
No.
And if that happens,
Shankar
you
Prasad,
will
you
see
made your
that the
standard
armed
points,
forces
but
will
that's
begin
not
to
my
have
question.
a great say in governance.
My question today
Therefore, Arnab,
General Prasad,
your question is very clear that this is a great time for opportunism. Use these senior military officers who have standing in public forum to enlist them into their parties and garner votes. Please do one more thing. Let the election commission also announce that every serviceman is allowed to vote. And if that happens, the stock of the armed forces will really go up. So keep employing these people for your personal benefit. But the moment the elections are over, you will again forget about them.
Sir, of course they'll forget about them. And ask the Congress party tonight, why don't we address the issue straight?
We will not allow them to forget us. Arnab, that is the point. If we are there in Parliament, they will not be able to forget us because it is all a game of
Colonel
numbers.
Kaul, let me tell you one thing. You are from a political party today called the Navbharat Party. Right? There are every political parties. I'm sorry to have to say this. What are political parties doing? Like Sanjay Jha's party, the BJP, the Congress, your party. You know what they are doing? They are hoping, Siddharth Nath Singh, they are hoping that by taking a few senior officers and giving them some plum positions, making them spokesmen perhaps, or making them feel important, that the people of India will forget, Sanjay, will forget what you have done to the soldiers of this country for years. The incident, the reason 2 young men have died in that incident on Wednesday is because of your government.
Arnab, I look at it slightly differently. Before Mr. Jha takes the center stage and doesn't allow anybody else to speak, which is his normal style, I'd like to tell you this, that
sir, you are the only one who is speaking and from the political party now.
Shankar Prasad has just said.
1 second, Colonel Kaul, 1 minute, I'll come back to you. Colonel Kaul, no, Colonel Kaul, everybody can't make their usual statements. You have to come to the core issue. I mean...
No, I am not making a usual statement. I am quite different from...
Colonel Kaul, the question is, with your permission, can I just try and ask a simple question to the Congress party? I've been trying to get an answer since yesterday. Now, your foreign minister, your prime minister, your defense minister, your finance minister, and your home minister, all 5 of them, Sanjay, refused to let the young naval officers and sailors get 6 simple new submarines. Okay? You just refused. You refused, your prime minister and all these stalwarts, they refused to clear the acquisition of 6 submarines, which was done. Had this acquisition been got, these incidents would not have happened, and some of the soldiers who have died would not have died. Does that make you feel guilty when you and Siddharth Nath Singh get into a petty fight over which one of you represents the forces better? Does it make you feel guilty, Sanjay?
Anyway,
does it make you feel guilty?
I think we are mixing up issues.
No, we are not. No, we are not. No, we are not.
Since you have raised the issue of the submarine accident, I want to mention this to you. Well, give me 15 seconds to wrap up, please. The point I'm making is that issue has been, and in fact, it's a worry of national security. You're obviously, I mean, one is devastated by the loss of lives, by the fact that there are soldiers who are young who died at a very at peacetime. In peacetime, it's understandable. The anguish is understandable.
But Sanjay,
this is a large. But Sanjay,
I am not. You are not even. I am not talking about what is understandable, Sanjay.
It's not about.
I am asking you today.
More complex
I am asking you today, Sanjay. Please understand this. You know, your government for 10 years has stopped all modernization plans of the Indian Army, Air Force and Navy. Your government has sat down on the modernization
I don't agree
schemes.
with that.
Your government...
On what basis are you making these allegations?
I am making it on the basis of facts which you obviously don't know.
Over the last 10 years, have you seen the figures of defense allocation in the budgets? They have been amongst the highest ever. Have you seen the
Sanjay, you know, Sanjay, I'll tell you.
Are you trying to tell me that
I'll share the facts with you, Sanjay. I'll share the facts with you. Just a minute.
There may be structural deficiencies.
Mr.
You cannot make a sweeping generalization.
Yes, Mr. Jha,
the Indian Army
I'll tell you this, Mr. Jha.
Mr. Jha, maybe it can do better. Obviously, there may be an optimal level that we may not have reached.
Mr. Jha.
You can't afford to straight away condemn the fact that nothing has happened for 10 years.
The manner in which
absolutely absurd hypothesis.
Today, there are three things which are absurd, Mr. Jha, and I'll take a
just like the gentleman on the panel. There was some gentleman on the panel who said, I keep interrupting when I hadn't even spoken a statement.
Yeah,
let's not get into some kind of a preposterous, premeditated argument.
Mr. Jha,
I think let's have a more calm, composed, and a very calibrated debate.
Mr. Jha, I'll tell you, Mr. Jha, now, do you want me to take your name 1,000 times before you're going to actually let someone speak? The question is this, Mr. Jha. Please understand this, okay? First of all, Mr. Jha, we'll have a very calm discussion, okay? But we'll have a very clear understanding that I will ask the question and you'll give the answer. But the problem with you, Mr. Jha, is, the problem with you, Mr. Jha, of late is, ask you a question X, you give an answer Y. When I tell you don't give the answer Y, you continue speaking, you don't get the next question, and I'll tell you just one fact. My question about submarine fleets was very important, Mr. Jha, because India has embarked on a naval modernization plan, but as things stand, India's submarine operational ability stands at 48%, right? Plans to construct a series of stealth submarines were approved in 2007, right? Till today, they have not even materialized. Your submarine fleet will not be operational till 2020. And Mr. Jha, when I come back, I will simply ask you this. Do not think, Mr. Jha, that simply because you realize that you had done nothing on one rank, one pension for over a decade, and you make that promise in the interim budget, and I qualify promise that we will stop asking you the questions on why you forgot about the armed forces for over a decade when you were in power. So, Mr. Jha, I'll be back in 120 seconds. You can think about what you'll say on the other. I'll start by going back to Air Chief Marshal Krishnaswamy. Air Chief Marshal Krishnaswamy, you saw the confidence with which Sanjay Jha said that. Don't you know the amount of money that we have allocated to defense budgets? Almost as if suggesting that we, the people of India, should be grateful that the Congress party, from its own coffers, which it's not clearly, right, from the taxpayers' money, has allocated money for the defense budget. If this is the case, Mr. Air Chief Krishnaswamy, could you please tell us, and maybe more Sanjay Jha more than me, why it is that the Indian Air Force, which you have led, had to sound a red alert over rapidly dwindling fighter squadrons? Why is it that the Indian Air Force had just 34 fighter squadrons when it was authorized 42 fighter squadrons? If so much money is being given in such an act of generosity by the UPA government, which we should be grateful for, why is this the situation, for example, with the Air Force, Air Chief?
Arnab, you can avoid this sarcasm. You're discussing an issue.
No, there is no sarcasm there. I'm asking him to...
spare your viewers your sardonic observations.
No, was it...
I think treat the issue with the gravity it deserves. You asked for the defense minister's resignation yesterday.
Yes, I did.
1 minute, can you, for showing the Newshour viewers a fake and fraudulent C-voter poll, are you willing to resign as the editor of Times
For
God's sake, let's not try and trivialize the discussions here.
Now, Mr. Jha, there are 1 second, Mr. Jha. Mr. Jha, I know that, and by the way, I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Jha. I know it must be extremely difficult for you to listen to what I will tell you now. I know, Mr. Jha, that it must be very difficult for you to see stories on Times Now about how your Prime Minister says nothing when you have UPA appointment scam. I'm sure it's very difficult for you to talk about the medical scam as well. And I'm
You
sure
can
it is.
choose to call
I'm sure,
everything
Mr.
a
Jha.
scam, but it is
I am
not.
sure. I am sure, Mr.
It is
Jha.
not.
Mr. Jha, please have the patience to listen, right?
No, no, you are just
Now,
adding a
Mr.
suffix
Jha,
or a
you know,
prefix
it's like
that
water off a
suits
duck's
you, but
back.
it is not appropriate.
It's
And
like
I do
water
hope
off a
the
duck's
people of
back.
India
Now
will see through it.
you can listen to this, Mr. Jha. Please understand this, right? Now, as far as the surveys are concerned, the news channel concerned was asked a question, and it said we have absolutely nothing to prove that any survey which has been done on any channel, right, already, which has been done and shown and published or telecast, can be questioned. Now, that was a very firm position taken by the news channel. I can completely understand and empathize with you, Mr. Jha, your nervousness or worry about all the polls, right, which have shown certain difficult
but then you
position
can
which the
be
Congress
equally
party is in.
culpable.
But
No, no,
tonight,
1 minute,
Mr.
if
Jha, I would
tomorrow-
request you.
1 minute,
I would
Arnab,
request you to let
Arnab,
us come back to the
on a very
subject.
serious issue.
I would request you to come back to the subject.
If you choose a vendor of suspect
I would request you to come back
It
to the
affects
very
your
important
reputation as
subject,
well.
and people have
And
died
your
this week,
broadcast
Mr.
channel
Jha.
and the others.
People have given their ultimate sacrifice not to hear you,
no,
Mr.
I just
Sanjay
wanted to
Jha.
bring an analogy
No, Mr.
here
Jha, you know,
that it
you
is
know,
very
Mr.
easy
Jha,
to ask for
it
the
is
heads
very
of
important
people.
for you
But let us not be irresponsible
you
got a very
can
honest
digest the
and a
facts
good
without
defense
getting
minister.
worried about
Let us
it.
respect him for what he's
Yeah,
doing.
so Mr.
And I'm willing
we'll,
to accept
we'll,
the criticisms.
so-
we are willing to take the feedback.
Yeah,
but let
so-
us not start asking for people's heads
so
every night. I mean, that's
so
not the
Mr.
way a
Sanjay Jha,
democracy
you know, I'll
functions.
tell you,
A banana republic does.
I will repeat this point to you very clearly, and listen to me. And you know, by the way, let's get Air Chief Krishnaswamy, and you can, for a change this evening, Sanjay, show a little bit of grace in making people listen to you. You know, one of the problems sometimes, Sanjay Jha, of politicians and political party spokespersons is that they can very often get the feeling that they are doing the people of this country a favor by replying to the questions that are put by the media.
No, not at all.
Now, Mr. Jha, I request you, therefore,
No,
that I am saying this tonight as an independent journalist. I am saying this as an independent journalist, not a journalist authorized by the Congress party, right? Because I don't have to take a license from the Congress party. That it is a fact that we have 34 fighter squadrons when we should have 42, right? And in fact, Mr. Jha, if you only knew your facts better, you would also know that the Indian Air Force has been forced to fly MiG-21s and MiG-27s till 2025 because the government has very long delayed the retirement of its aging MiG-21s and MiG-27s. People die in these flying coffins, Mr. Jha. So please show some seriousness, and I don't think I'm being patronizing to you at all. I'm sharing some facts. They will be uncomfortable, but it is time we listen to them. I repeat my question to Air Chief Krishnaswamy, that if there are such large defense budgets, and I would request you to show the grace to let Air Chief Krishnaswamy respond, Mr. Jha, right? Please. So the question is very important. It's very important, I must also say tonight that if I open the phone lines and ask people those questions about what they feel about the way in which political parties who do nothing for the forces suddenly want to own them before the elections, you'll be shocked at the response. Why is it in this situation, Air Chief Krishnaswamy, that if so much money was given, why is the condition of our forces so worrisome?
Well, let me just say a few important issues here that we are talking about. I would like to disconnect politics from governance. Now, the services are managed through the government. It doesn't matter which political party it is, it's a matter of governance.
Right.
It's very interesting that Colonel said that the governance is so weak that it is now the military guys or former military guys have to come into politics to show how to govern, as though the current government or the past governments or the governments have been totally incapable of governing. I won't go by that. And I don't believe that military guys, you come into one day into politics and you can govern anything better.
But I'm sorry,
now,
that's not the situation on ground.
let me complete.
Away from it.
Okay, let me just complete it. Pardon me, just let me complete it.
Sir, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you.
Okay, but let us not intervene. You don't have to agree with me.
Okay, so you don't agree. So you don't agree, that's fine.
It doesn't matter.
No, you don't agree.
You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree.
No, it's fine.
I've got a lot of respect for you.
Okay, I respect you. We know each other. We know each other very well.
Debate. I'm sorry.
Colonel Kaul.
It is people like you.
Let's not.
Sir, my apologies. My apologies. My apologies. You are playing into the politicians' hands.
How is that?
By this political business. After retirement, there is no such thing.
Okay.
During service, I have kept my mouth shut. It is
I agree.
that I
Colonel Kaul,
I agree.
Because I feel
Colonel
that
Kaul,
these people do not have the capability.
Colonel Kaul,
On military,
I heard
you can accept it. I will not.
I heard you. Now let the see.
Thank you.
Let
Thank you.
the Air Chief.
Sorry for interrupting you, sir.
It's a very important subject, Air Chief.
We have a former general who is functioned as the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh so very well, and we have a former the military, Mr. Jaswant Singh. He has run all the senior positions, and it's not that.
Therefore,
there is a certain laxity in governance.
Why can't the new generation, your generation?
Sure. Why not? I am not against anyone coming into politics, but leave the politics.
The situation is that we need to step in.
Sir,
we need to step in.
Colonel Kaul, let Air Chief Krishnaswamy have a perspective.
Two different things.
I don't think you're being fair now. You know, he has a perspective different from yours, but he has a right to have it. And I wanted a very serious answer to the question that if all the political parties of India care so much for our forces, all of them, including the BJP and the Congress and all these parties, then why are our forces in such a state in terms of the infrastructure? Please complete, sir.
That is the reason that needs
Arnab,
to be.
We are a democracy. Could I speak?
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Well, firstly, we are a democracy, and we, whether wear military uniform or otherwise, we all vote. We have freedom to vote. We all must vote. And I think the general brought out here that all defense services personnel must vote. Why not? That's our right. Now, that is voting a political party into power, whosoever we feel individual feels appropriate. The other part of it is any retired person wants to join politics is most welcome. Why not? He stands for election, he stands with the party, and he wins it or not, that's fine. There are significant number of ex-servicemen in politics. As I said, we have an excellent general who ran Himachal Pradesh as Chief Minister.
Sure, Air Chief, but it doesn't do away with
late Rajesh Pilot and so on.
But it doesn't.
No, the point here comes is about
Air Marshal Krishnaswamy. I actually don't think it's going to be, going to help in any way. You can get generals and air marshals and admirals to join the forces, but how does it help the serving forces, Siddharth Nath Singh? How does it help the state of our defense infrastructure?
That's what I'm coming to say.
There is the question is Chief, 1 second. The question is using these generals and marshals and admirals as mascots. That's all. Even Siddharth will admit there is a certain amount of unnecessary symbolism.
Tomorrow you admit.
Yes, Siddharth.
I'll not admit to anything.
Can I have a say in this matter?
No, Siddharth,
I will not
please.
admit that we are using them as mascot, but yes, the armed forces people, retired people, for their long service to the nation and their core to the patriotism, yes, they have a high credibility in the Indian society or the civil society once they are retired. Now the issue is,
we don't even have a national war memorial.
We can force them to join.
We don't even have a national war memorial. You can go and woo ex-servicemen on the eve of an election. We don't have a national post-independence monument to honor the martyrs who lost their lives in war since 1947.
Arnab, you are absolutely out of track today. We don't woo armed service people. They are capable of taking their own decision, and when they come in touch with us, they are always welcome, like anybody else is welcome.
I'm so sorry,
but yes,
I am Siddharth.
They always
today,
nationalism.
Today on the eve of the election, when the government pushes for one rank, one pension, Narendra Modi says that it is a political line. So it's not me. It is even Narendra Modi who indirectly says that the Congress party is trying to woo, ex-servicemen.
No.
Yes, Sanjay Jha.
I have a point here to make.
Well, one rank, one
second. Sanjay Jha, please. Sanjay Jha is rebutting you.
Because in 2010, 2013,
Sanjay Jha is rebutting you,
but they
Sanjay.
could not push it. But a week before, one he can rebut later. But one week before the vote on account, Rahul Gandhi says, and the government takes an action, and they only allocate 500 crores.
Anyway.
That is the issue.
It's not about money.
It's not about
the money, it's about the attitude. It's not about the money, Sanjay. We have limited time. Let Sanjay Jha respond to you. It's not about the money. It's about the attitude, the same attitude with which today, when Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw died in July 2008, not a single senior minister attended his funeral. That's the respect that is shown to the forces. Sanjay Jha, how do you respond to that?
The point. Well, let me tell you that the armed forces in India deserve to be given the highest respect. I don't think that's an issue on which any negotiation can be done at all. If any political party or government has not done it to the appropriate level, well, a rectification is desired with immediate effect. I don't think that's an issue on which anybody will have a dispute. I want to make a point here to Siddharth Nath Singh. I want to make a point here to Siddharth Nath Singh. Just a minute. I thought I was not to be interrupted. I thought I was not to be interrupted, please. I thought I was not to be interrupted, please. The Prime Ministerial Designate of the BJP makes a statement that it is these traders who are able to take bigger risks than soldiers in the army. And I think that is the most reprehensible statement that can ever happen from a senior leader of any political party. And I would like Siddharth Nath Singh to acknowledge that was either a terrible lapse of judgment or a lack of vision. And let me tell you something, it was a shameful statement on the part of Narendra Modi. That is something that tells you what the attitude you have as a political party. That's why you see politics in one rank, one pension, when in fact it is nothing but a long-standing issue that had to be resolved.
With high inflation, the soldiers being beheaded, China walking into India.
At least you can apologize on behalf of Mr. Modi and your party.
Well,
Siddharth Nath Singh, you have a platform today to apologize on behalf of Mr. Modi and your party.
Gentlemen,
that is what your vision is, Mr. Jha.
Gentlemen, I find one thing very interesting.
That is the vision you carry. I'm so sorry.
All political parties.
Arnab, what is going on?
No, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, that's what's going on. All political parties, including yours, are so aggressively trying to suddenly in pre-election eve, Mr. Chenoy, become the spokespersons, the custodians, and
No, hold it. Arnab, we are not only talking about elections. I would like to talk about their service conditions. Why don't we discuss that? That's a serious matter. Why do they need an army person in the pay commission? Because otherwise they're not heard. Let's discuss this.
I agree with you.
Why do they retire so early? Because there are no posts.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, and which is why I think what we'll do is, because I have to end this debate, the question is, it's so transparent. It is so transparent when political parties wake up to the interests of forces on the eve of an election. Everyone will see through it. This country needs the politicians to take care of the forces 24/7, not discover them before an election. Gentlemen, I thank you for joining me on debate number 2. Thank you.